folks, it's that time again for the weekly HeartQuest. And I'm just shuffling my HeartQuest deck. And I'm going to draw 3 cards and we will dive into the medicine of them. But while I'm shuffling, I just want to start by saying I know that there is so much going on in the world right now that is weighing heavy on so many of us. There is a lot of uncertainty and concern afoot. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. The reason I laugh with this first card is this was the card I also pulled for the day, for today, for my own direct personal daily heart quest that I like to do. And the word is abundance, and the color is orange, and this is a second chakra card, also known as the sacral chakra or sexual chakra, and I like to refer to it as the womb chakra. So I invite you to just first of all feel into whatever is coming up for you with this card, whatever this brings up for you. What are you feeling around abundance today? Oh, so what's coming up for me, and some of this is rather personal, but it still feels potent for the collective, is I am in a time where there is so much hope and possibility for the future. I'm on the verge of buying a home, my home, and it's exciting, and it's also terrifying and brings up so much. And there's so much hope and there's so much possibility, but there's also so much concern and fears to work through and things to figure out, and fear about, do we really have enough money, and are we going to be fully approved for all of these things that we require doing in order to have this all go smoothly in the way that we would like to go. And I share that intimate piece with you because I feel that it very much reflects some of what's happening on the collective. There's this underlying sense that of abundance, of coming into a place of fruition where things can be better than they've ever been before, where we can manifest and have our heaven on earth. And so there's a lot of creative fire and forward momentum into this place of abundance that we also desire. And there is also a lot of shadow stuff coming up, and fear coming up around some of the things that we see reflected happening in our world and in our collective, and people being persecuted for their religion, for their beliefs. There is a sense of entrapment, lack of freedom, and so at the same time, all of those restraints and those shadows that we might have around our abundance and our fulfillment and having the things that we desire in our life are being pushed to the surface and asked to be reflected upon. So in this week ahead, do not be surprised if any of your shadows around the things that you've made up about abundance and how or why you might not be worthy of having what you desire, or the fear that the world isn't ready to support you in having what you desire to see, not only in your personal life, but out pictured in the world. Those things may come up. But at the same time, there is this big, brilliant, shining undercurrent of hope, and it's important that we nourish within our sacred womb space that seed of hope for all that we desire that is asking to come into fruition. And it's important that we remember that we are still on track, that all that we desire, even if the collective doesn't seem to be reflecting it, it's still valid, it's still real, it's still in its place of coming into fruition. And it's important that we continue to have hope and have faith and nourish those seeds of our desires. And the next card is boundaries. And I love that my phone, my devices are blinking at me just as I pull this card, because that immediately reminds me of the importance of making sure that we set aside space and time for ourselves, like, and for what we require. Like, I could have turned my notifications off. That would have been a good boundary for me to have in creating this video. But anyways, this is a throat chakra card, throat chakra, and the color is blue. And I invite you to just feel into anything that comes up for you around this, and then I'll dive in more to the medicine of it. I immediately hear it is so important that we use our voices, that we stand up for our choices, that we are clear about what we desire and what we require, and what we will stand for and what we will not stand for. It is important now, possibly more than ever, for us to continue to be strong and clear on what's okay and what's not. And it can be terrifying to stand up, to speak, to get involved, to say what we feel, to be clear on our stance on certain issues, certain big issues, political issues, human rights issues. But this is not the time to back down, to cower, to shy away. Yes, we can do a lot of work on the inner. Yes, we can do a lot of work through meditation and prayer and focus, but just meditation and prayer and focus and inner work is not going to cut it. We are going to be required to use our voices, to activate our throat chakras, to speak up with clarity for what we choose. And if we don't yet have clarity, that's okay. Just start talking. Find a way to express yourself. Even if you need to start with writing about it and getting those feelings out there. But make sure that you are not backing down on the big issues. And it's really important to be clear on our choices. Yeah. And also to set our boundaries where we need in our lives. Like, you know, we could easily get overwhelmed by being just continuously inundated with all the information that's out there and all the news that's out there. So it's really important that we also set our boundaries for making sure we're creating safe spaces and self-care time and nurturing ourselves, and not sucking and soaking it all in, soaking it all up. We need to make sure that we are setting clear, healthy boundaries in our relationships and also in how we relate to the world. It's important that we realize that even though that we are in this world and we're a part of it and we have a role to play, not everything that's happening out there is all about us, and it doesn't all need to be taken in and carried. And so I just encourage you to explore into where you can create more boundaries around how you take care of yourself and how much information you let in, while at the same time encouraging you to make sure that you are paying attention and you are speaking up about how you feel and what you choose. And the third card is Bloom. Bloom. And the color is indigo. This is a third eye chakra card. So just feel into whatever this brings up for you. And what comes up for me is a very potent reminder that our powers of imagination and manifestation are essential for moving forward, not only in our own lives, but as a collective. And that blooming, and I really believe that we are coming into a blooming, individually perhaps, but also on a greater scale. Blooming is never easy. It's challenging. It's somewhat terrifying at times. It's much like blooming is much like birth. You know, there's an opening that has to happen, a peeling back of the layers. And it's important that we honor that we are in a birth process, and that oftentimes with a birth process there is transition, and transition can be a scary point where we're not sure that we can do it, where we're not sure that we're going to make it. And yet there's only one way through, and it's forward. And so our commitment to continuing to move forward, no matter how much fear or challenge might come up, is big, and it's important. It's essential. And it's also important to remember continuously that we are creators, and we create with what we imagine into. So I encourage you not to let yourself get carried away with all the worst case scenario possibilities. Feel into and look at what you're seeing reflected in the world, and then also sit back and take time to focus on what it is that you choose to create and manifest in the world, and realize that it's not all going to happen through this third eye chakra, imagination, activation, energy, but that is a big, key, integral part. We also have to be doing our part to speak up, to take action, and that's where the throat chakra is coming into play in this. So we're focusing this week on our womb chakra, our throat chakra, and our third eye. That's the second chakra, the fifth chakra, and the sixth chakra. And those are the energies that are going to be really potent and up for us to feel into in this week ahead. All right, so much love and so much light, dear ones. Have a blessed week, and as I say so much love and so much light, I am inspired to remind you that it's okay to feel into your shadows too, and it's important to feel into them also. Just don't get stuck, don't stay there. Feel into them, and then find a way to take action. Take action in moving forward. See you next week.